Hi everybody, this is Money Mom. Welcome back to the channel. I've been asked a very important question by actually quite a few people. Basically, they wanted to know how many bank accounts and savings that we have or how many of each family should have. Let me first start by saying this. Every family is different. Everybody's work situation is different. So what's good for our family might not work for your family. So I'm going to tell you what our family has very briefly, and then I'll touch base on what I think may be a good idea for many families. So let's get started. Okay, first of all, we have a basic emergency savings account, which is fluid, which I like to keep at least $3,000 in there for in case of little emergencies or house repairs, things like that. So that's number one. Number two, checking account where our bills come out. Number three, as you know, I'm an independent contractor. They don't take taxes out, so I have an IRS tax savings that I put money into each month because I pay quarterly taxes. That has to come before anything else, that I make sure to put money in that consistently every month. Next, I also have a house tax savings account because we paid off our mortgage a year ago, and because of that, we now have to pay taxes. I would say county, city, and school tax. So we pay that once a year, so I put aside $300 each month to do that, so that I make sure that I have that money and I'm prepared for that large bill every year. Also, my daughter has her own savings account, which is for college, and she has money in there, and any type of work she does, she puts money into that account. We also have a travel and gift savings account. Right now, I am not putting any money in that. So those are the accounts that we have right now. I also, at a separate bank, have a YouTube savings account. I've been paid twice by YouTube, a little over $100 each time, and I should be paid again in March. So any money that we have there, once a year, we'll cash it out, any money that we have, and we'll decide as a family what the family may need and make sure we utilize it for something that's a need of the family. Example, computer, fence in the backyard getting fixed, that kind of thing. And we'll decide as a family what we feel is most needed. That way we don't feel like we'll have something to show for the wonderful money that we've earned. So those are the accounts we have. Really briefly, after I pay off the vehicle, the $250 that I pay for car payment, I plan on putting into a new savings account and open up that and put that in there every month, so we hopefully will pay cash for our next car. Then after that also, I plan on opening up a quote no-touch savings account that my goal is to put $10,000 in there. It will take a while to get there, but that way that's for loss of job or any bigger emergency. So those are what I'm looking at. I'm also doing some investigative work into different types of savings accounts and mutual funds where we may earn a little bit more interest. And so right now we're in the research process of that. So these are the accounts we have. Now on to your question, how many accounts should you have? I think each family needs to do what works for them. I do think it's good for each family, if they're able to try to put at least 10% in an emergency savings every month if they're not putting that towards debt, and to have a checking account where your bills come out of. I think that those two are imperative. The only other kind of savings I think is important is this, or you could call it a savings or a sinking fund. Think about anything big that comes up in your life, maybe once a year, or something that you want to save for. And I'm going to just give you two quick examples. Let's say, number one, you live far away from family, and once a year you go on a trip to see your family, and it costs, say, $1,500. You may open up a special savings for that. Or number two, you want a savings for medical because maybe one of the family members has some health issues and not everything's covered by insurance. So each family needs to sit down, talk together, and figure out what, besides regular like a little emergencies, what other things maybe could we be saving for so that we're proactive, and think about that, and then think about how much you can afford to set aside each month towards that. So it's just something to get the ball rolling there. One thing I will say about this, and I think we can all maybe agree, if you own a car, whether it's new, used, whatever, I do think that it's good to have a special savings account, sinking fund, whichever you prefer to call it, that you allocate some money each month so that if something happens to your vehicle and maybe you have to sell it, you don't get much for it, that you have cash to be able to pay for a car. I do definitely think that's important, because I've met a lot of people that, oh, they're excited when they don't have a car payment anymore, but they're not taking any portion of what they put towards the car in any kind of savings or sinking fund, so then they have to go finance a car again the next time. And that's what I'm going to try to avoid doing. I hope that this has helped you guys, but I think it's a good discussion to have with our family about what accounts you feel are needed for your family. Thank you everybody for watching. One little random question. I told you sometimes I might ask random questions. Have any of you ever ridden in a hot air balloon? And if you haven't, would that be something you do? I'd just love to hear your answer on that. Thanks everybody for watching. Love you. Bye.